Welcome back, Agiteers. So today we have an update that I wanted to give you regarding my health and what's going on. I'm going to try and keep these videos going, but I'm going to release at the same time a tech video so I don't disenfranchise my audience. I know some of you are interested in what's going on to me medically, and the majority of you want tech videos. So if you're here for a tech video, this is not really that kind of tech video. It does deal with technology that is living inside my chest here, but it does not deal with computer technology per se. So you might want to skip this video. For those of you who have not seen the video I released a couple weeks ago and don't understand what's going on, I do recommend you go back and see that video. It's called The Video That I Really Never Wanted to Make, I believe, something like that. It came out about 2 weeks ago. I'll try to put a card in so it pops up and you can see it, so you can jump to that video and watch it. To make a long story very short, I have dilated cardiomyopathy. I have an internal defibrillator pacemaker inside my chest, and I recently had a dangerous arrhythmia. I thought I was going to die, in other words. It was very unpleasant. I had to call 911, and they ended up hauling me out of my house. I did get shocked by my device, and I had to be cardioverted, which is a really nice way of saying resuscitated. The reason they call it cardioversion is because you haven't quite went all the way out yet, and they're trying to stop you from losing, a normal rhythm in your heart and going into a full heart attack. So they zap you with the paddles. They put them on your chest, and they give you a good zap. I got one in the ambulance. When I reached the hospital, I got another one. I honestly thought I was a dead man walking, laying down. However, I was transferred to a much better hospital and was there for a week through a lot of therapies and treatments. I was able to come home, but it's very short-lived. According to my doctor, my heart is end-stage dilated cardiomyopathy. I only have maybe, she says, 2 months, and I will need to get a LVAD, left ventricle assist device, which is a pump that you wear externally, the battery pack, and you have a cable that goes inside you, and it runs the pump, and it takes over for your heart, and without it, I will die. So in a while, I'm going to get that. And you may say, why don't you get it now? Because it is a very drastic, invasive procedure and only has about an 84 to 85% success rate. So what they're trying to do is elongate the time that I can live without it so that I can have more time to bring my weight down. I lost another, I guess it'd be 3 pounds since I last talked to you, which was a couple weeks ago. So I'm down to 277 now from a high of 306. My goal is to get down to 250 to become eligible for a heart transplant. What's happening now? Well, they are going to do an MRI of my heart for 2 reasons. One, they want to get a complete picture of it. And 2, they want to know if there's a part of my heart that they can ablate, or usually with chemicals or electricity, it basically means burn it off. So they burn off the offending part of the heart that isn't beating normally. So that's what this MRI is for. I'm a little concerned about the MRI. Then there is a chance that when I get the MRI, it will destroy my pacemaker defibrillator. That scares me because I have a lot of faith in this device, and it saved my life and stopped me from having a heart attack full on. So I like this thing, even though it scares the crap out of me when I get shocked and I have terrible anxiety, at least I'm alive. But if it does destroy the device, they are going to have to rush me in for emergency surgery and place a newer, better device in, which is good. But they got to put in another wire lead, which can be dangerous. You know, the wires are in your veins, so, you know, they do block blood flow, and there is a chance of stroke or heart attack or other problems. We're hoping things will go kosher. I have very clean veins. I eat very well. I eat too much, and I sit too much, which is why I gain weight, but I do eat healthy. But if the MRI dies, they would have to rush me in and place a new device. They put you in the so-called twilight sleep. Well, let me tell you about the twilight sleep. It works fine until they test your device in your chest. You know, they have to know that this thing will shock your heart correctly. So if I have to be rushed in to get the new device, they will shock me, which will stun my heart, which probably will start the arrhythmias again and require me to stay in the hospital for another week and be on a lidocaine drip and an amiodarone drip to control my heart until it relaxes again. So that really scares me. Once it scares me because I'm going to be shocked, and even when the twilight sleep in previous times when I got the device in, I would get shocked and I would come right out of twilight sleep and try to jump off the table, you know, because it's going to wake you up. The good news is the shock is nowhere near as bad with the ICD in my chest than the paddles that they use. The paddles were a magnitude worse. It's the difference between a bullet and a nuclear warhead, in my opinion. Now, I know my ICD only shocked me once. As it shocks you repeatedly if it needs to, it uses more juice. So in the words of my brother who passed away from the same disease, he said when he got shocked the third time by his device, it was truly horrific. And that's how I described getting cardioverted, aka resuscitated. It was beyond horror, and I still cannot sleep at night. I get 2 or 3 hours, then I wake up and I can't sleep. But I'm dealing with it, just not very well. Now, even if I don't need to get the new device after this MRI, I am scheduled to get the new device as soon as possible in the hopes that the new device will help my heart beat as one cohesive unit like normal people do. You know, parts of the heart are kind of beating out of rhythm. The scary thing is I'm getting more premature ventricular contractions, which is basically a skipped heartbeat, an early heartbeat. It's very disconcerting when I get them, and they are increasing, which indicates that my heart is growing weaker much faster. The rate of PVCs that I'm getting is 52 an hour. In comparison, when I was in the hospital on the lidocaine drip and the amiodarone drip, I was getting 3 an hour. So it's really, really scary. They can potentially lead to a ventricular tachycardia, which would make my heart enter an abnormal arrhythmia that is life-threatening, which you can't miss. No chance of that. You think you're dying, and it's because you are, by the way. And my device would swing in and try to pace me out. It probably wouldn't work and end up having to shock me, and I would go into the hospital. And that's the best case scenario, is I would get to the hospital. The worst case scenario is I don't, and you know the rest. So that new ICD is going to be put in no matter what. Looks like it's coming in February or March. Again, my doctor has told me there's a 5% chance that will improve cardiac output and give me maybe another couple of months, and then I'm going to need the LVAD. So I'm kind of faced with the fact that one of two things is going to happen, which ironically I knew before I had the episode that I had that got me in the hospital. With the increase in PVCs, I'm going to experience another significant event, which is going to be terrible and horrifying. and or I will do things on schedule, and we'll do a test, and we will see whether or not the cardiac output has gotten any better with the new internal device. If it hasn't, I need to get that LVAD. So on one hand, I might go in and it'll be emergency style and rush me in, stabilize me, and I'm going to be having lots of surgeries. When I get the LVAD pump, life will be very different. If the thing ever dies for whatever reason, if the batteries die, it's done. I'm dead. I have to be where there's stable electricity at all times and plug in at night and make sure my batteries are charged. So it'll be a different way of life, but I'll still be alive. And I do remain positive, thinking that, I'm going to have success with this LVAD, even though my brother passed away after 6 months on his LVAD from complications. He had a brain bleed, which I mentioned in the previous video. So that's where I'm at. I'm trying to get a couple of videos out for you because, one, it takes my mind off of the terror of this stuff, and I don't feel the PVCs, the premature ventricular contractions, as much, which is good because it causes me anxiety, which, as you can imagine, causes more PVCs. So I'm going to do these videos. I'm going to get them out, and I've got a whole bunch of other stuff I could edit. So, actually I did 3 videos I need to edit for you, and this is the 4th one. And I'm going to get these out. I'm going to try and get a couple out today. But after these videos come out, if you don't hear from me, you know why. I had to get rushed to the hospital, and I got to get an LVAD put in. But again, a lot of people survive on those LVADs, many for decades. So I'm not giving up. I refuse to give up. I have a life to live. I've got 3 sons, and, there are grandkids in the future, and I can't give up. I won't. And I'm going to try and beat this. Ultimately, the future will lead to hopefully a heart transplant. And, that's not without its risks as well. But I don't have any choice. So the way I see it, I'm going to go for it, I mean, I feel like the person getting the surgery has it easier than the family, because basically I go to sleep. And when I wake up, I have an LVAD pump in me, or I have a new heart, or I don't wake up, in which case I guess I'm freed from my earthly bounds. So I try to remain positive. I think the thing that really causes me anxiety is the pain of getting shocked, and the being startled is one word, but it's worse than that now that I've been cardioverted. It's freaky. I don't know how else to put it. It is a terrifying experience, and it's kind of lingering with me. And I'm taking medication to calm myself, although I haven't had any today. I've been trying to do without it, unless it's nighttime, and even with it, I barely sleep. So that kind of sucks, but that is the way it is right now. Today's a pretty good day. Normally I feel pretty good, which is a good thing. The problem is that arrhythmia could occur at any time, and I am on new medicine, but it does not guarantee that it won't occur. It reduces the chance, but with the rise in PVCs, the chance of me having another episode increases. I'm not allowed to be left alone. I have to have somebody in the house at all times, because if something occurs, there's a good chance I won't be able to communicate. So it's scary. But I'm not going to worry. Well, okay, maybe not too much. I'll do my best. Anyway, that's the report. Hopefully, if you have a similar experience, it helps you out a little bit. If you're getting an ICD or have one and have never been shocked, don't fear it. It's better than getting cardioverted with the paddles in an ambulance or hospital. And, you know, I'm just going to handle it. And I'm sure if you have to get one of those devices or you have one, you probably know what the stakes are and why you have it. And it's probably saving your life with pacing and you don't even know it. Think of it that way. I had my device since 2010 in February, the first one, all the way to 2017. I did not get shocked until 2019. I went 9 years with my pacemaker defibrillator, and it did a fantastic job of pacing me. Now, it's really interesting. I remember when I got the first one, I was at like 5 or 10% pacing at night, and then it went up to 20%, you know, just before the event that got me in the hospital, and now it's pacing 40% of the time. Scary. But I'm glad it's there because I'm still alive and I'm not going to just keel over and die because I have this device. So think of it that way. It's a lifesaver. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll keep these updates coming as long as I'm able to. If you don't hear from me for 2 or 3 months, don't give up on me. I may just be in the hospital getting that LVAD put in. And as soon as I'm able, I don't care how I have to do it, I will get a video update out to you. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time on Fast Gadgets. This video was made possible with support from viewers like you. If you find this video useful, consider becoming a patron for as little as $1 a month at patreon.com/fastgadgets.